Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Kenny, and folks, it's a little bit overcast. We've had a lot of rain. That's nothing new to us. We've really had so much rain we don't know what to do with it, if you know what I'm talking about. But today we want you to stick around, and we're going to take you back to our garden, and we're going to be putting down some cardboard. So you stick around and we'll see you at the garden shortly, okay? We're at the garden now, folks, and before I get started, I want to show you my tomato plants, just give you a little glimpse of them. I grow the heirloom type tomato plant. I'm talking about a big pink brandywine. That is my favorite plant. And today, as I said earlier, we're going to dress these real well with cardboard. Before you put down cardboard, and this is our first year, we are using cardboard, but you need a real good box cutter, one that's incredibly sharp, and please do be careful and don't cut your finger off. And I prefer to put the cardboard down while the cardboard is wet. I've already found out that is a great way, and there are two reasons why you want it wet. It's easy, much easier, I have found out, to apply on top of the ground because it's flexible and it's moist, and that's one reason why it is easier. And the next reason is it being wet. If you happen to have a windy day that you're putting it down, it will stay down a whole lot easier by being wet until you can properly tie it down to where it's not going to be moved. So we're going to show you how we are doing this, and you follow along with me. Let me show you our tomato plants. These are very tough plants. They are, like I said earlier, they are a heirloom. They're a brandywine, pink brandywine. Now these have been, let me show you this one right here, for instance. It survived the frost. Yes, as you can see down here, the leaves are brown at the bottom. It literally survived the frost. I had them covered. The frost, the big chill that we had about 2.5 weeks ago, to where we had back-to-back frost for about 5 to 6 nights. Nothing but frost, and on top of that, a real hard freeze. So these plants, we had them covered. We covered them actually 3 or 4 times during that frost period, but they still, about half of them survived, and I had to replace the other half. That's the difference between the one that survived. Look at the size of that. I'm getting ready to put the cages. After I get the cardboard down, I will be putting these in cages. Now compare that big one to the one here that was just recently replaced, and you can see the difference in the size. This one I lost to frost, and this one here is like twice the size. So that's the difference between those tomato plants. Now I get my cardboard, like many of you. Of course, you don't pay for cardboard. I get mine at usually Walmart.com or Amazon.com, but you got to pay for what's in the box. The box is free, but what's in the box, you got to pay for it. Okay? So we're going to give you. I am new to cardboard, but I do know the basics. It's just so simple. What do? You just lay it down. It's best if there's any tape on this stuff. It's best to remove the tape first and just cut the 4 corners of the box if you need to. Sometimes they will just simply fall loose, and you don't have to really do anything because they're wet and they're really easy to tear apart. Now this cardboard, folks, I'm sure you know that this cardboard over time will decompose. Yes, it will decompose, and that's just organic matter that is going into your soil. I've got a huge amount of cardboard here. That is a big plus for your soil. And if you're an organic gardener like me, you know that this is just, what is this? Cardboard is just thin wood. That's all it is. And it decomposes slowly. So don't worry about putting it down. It will disappear. When it starts over the summer, it'll take all the heat from the rain. And during the winter time, come springtime, this should be really decomposed really well. Now I'm going to take a small amount off of that. But make sure you've got a good box cutter, because you definitely will be cutting some seams. Just take your time, don't get excited and cut your finger off. All right, that is very moist. Now around these plants, I will be putting my cages down very shortly. And I will simply take like this. Let me show you how easy it is. The cage is about, a foot and a half in diameter, something like that. All you got to do is just simply cut out like this. Mark your little spot like I just did, like this. And that's going to leave you enough space to properly fertilize your plant. Now I have added a lot of times fertilizer regularly on a, say like a monthly basis. Now see, that will fit right back when I get the cage up, which I will do that probably next week. And that'll prevent a lot of weeds from coming up around your tomato plants. That's really a great benefit to the cardboard. It's because you put it on there for weed control. You put it on there for weed control, and that is the number. I have fought weeds, let me say to you. I have fought weeds many years in the past, and I realized I did it needlessly because cardboard is cheap, and of course it takes a little bit to put it down. Now I'm doing this by myself, but you may have someone to help you. In that case, really, 2 is better than 1 when it comes to putting down cardboard. Okay, so I'm going to cut one more box here. Like I said, very easily, and don't cut your finger off. Box cutters are very, very sharp, and you can easily cut your finger off. Okay, I'm sure you probably are loyal, some of you may be. Now the bigger the box, obviously it will take less time to do your job. These are just different sizes, and they will take a little bit longer to put down because they're different sizes. But it's so much better to do this when you have someone helping you. Now I'm going to take my time. I've got 49 tomato plants. And that's not going to be no real big deal for me because, hey, who's in a hurry? Not me. Take your time and do it right. And this will actually take care of your weeds. Okay. We're coming along real good, folks. We're making some progress. With just one person doing this, it does take a little bit longer, but we're doing great. We're not rushing. It's really, really humid. And of course, they're giving us more thunderstorms. My tomatoes are blooming, some of them are. Now you've heard of Jack-in-the-Box. I want to show you something. I've had these things stored mostly out in the weather, and some of them are stored under my wood shed. You've heard of Jack-in-the-Box. I want to show you a snake in the box. I want to show you a snake in the box. There he is. He's a little tiny rat snake, house snake, and he was hid in my box. Oh my goodness. He would make a great pet, I'm sure, for somebody. But we're going to let him go. He's harmless. He loves mice. And he was underneath our wood shed in this box. So we're just going to release him and let him go. He can't climb out of the box. He doesn't have claws like a cat. Oh, well, I like to have fun. When I'm doing stuff like this is one of my passions, is doing garden. I'm a gardener, and I'll be honest with you, you got to make it fun. This is fun to me. I don't know what your idea maybe is of fun, which of course there's millions and millions of ways a person can have fun. But to me, this is one of my passions, and it is something I look forward to do, is doing gardening. Now, just take your time and lay this out, covering the entire top of the soil, because remember, those weeds, you don't want to give them any space, because they will take all that you give them. And I definitely don't want to give them any space. I don't want to do that. We've probably been at this about 15 minutes maybe, and we are making a lot of progress. Now, one thing I find that's important with this, folks, is that the bigger your box, the bigger piece of cardboard. I think the big kind, like something like a big screen TV. As you can see, this is about that size of a big screen TV. This will make it so much easier. This is the size of about maybe a fridge or a TV, and it really does go a long way. So the next time I start getting cardboard, I think I'll do that. Go and get the big box and get her done quicker. Yes. It only makes sense to me to do this like this and put this down one time rather than have to weed it during the summer when your plants are growing every week. That's a lot of work. This is a one-time thing. It only makes sense to me to do it like this because who wants to weed their tomato plants every single week? Not me, because I've got other things I need to do. I'm going to put this one down. It's almost the same size. Looks good. Okay, I'm trying to just press it down as much as I can because I will be putting something to keep the wind from blowing it away. We are working between showers. We had a nice shower about a... Okay, folks, as you can see, we are just about to wrap this up. It looks really well and I'm happy with it. And the reason we're going to have to really quit because it is getting ready to pour the rain and we don't want to get soaking wet. But we've made great progress with this. This is just a little example of what this looks like. I would have had it done, it would have really took no long time at all if I'd have had bigger cardboard. And I do want to make sure the next time that I put down this, which I'm going to use some more of it and some other stuff, but I want to make sure I get bigger cardboard. This takes just a little bit longer than I anticipated, but nevertheless we are still happy with it and it looks great. We've got a few rocks on top of it. We're new at this, folks, with cardboard, so we're going to go with a few rocks, and the rain is going to really put it down it's going to hold it down because we've had a ton of rain, and we're going to cut out right now because it's going to be a heavy downpour here in a few minutes. But we've done this really between showers, and we've got it just about done. I can finish it up probably in just a very short time. Got about another dozen of tomatoes left to finish up. But these plants are getting ready to get the cage. We are going to cage them this coming, probably by Friday. I should be able to get the cages installed on them. And then we will be ready for the tomatoes to just be weed free. That's the purpose of putting down this cardboard, is to eliminate the weeds. And I do believe it will work well. I don't have any doubt about it, because how can there be any weeds grow? Weeds grow with sun. It takes the power of the sun and a lot of moisture and a lot of oxygen for those weeds to really grow. But this cuts out all of that, and I think it will work just fine. So we're going to wrap it up because it's really getting ready. We're under a rain threat. So we appreciate you this afternoon. And it's getting a little bit late here. And if you like this, subscribe to our channel. So you have a great afternoon, and I hope we've showed you some things that can be helpful and that you can use. So